Going to get started. Welcome to our living room. I hope you enjoyed lunch and you had the chance to visit our sponsor tables and reflect on this morning's fabulous sessions. I have the pleasure of introducing our keynote conversation, Opening Doors and Minds. This is a conversation between three women who have taken vastly different angles to provide greater opportunities for women and girls. Ruth Branson is CEO of the Girl Scouts of Eastern Massachusetts, a model among the Girl Scouts of the USA. She is also co-chair of the Diversity Subcommittee for the Massachusetts Governor's STEM Advisory Council. Bernice Sandler is senior scholar at the Women's Research and Education Institute in Washington, D.C., and is often referred to as the Godmother of Title IX. Bernice also spoke at our very first conference for math and science 20 years ago at Wellesley College. So we welcome her back to Wellesley and to NCGS.
That's great.
We are fortunate also to have Jennifer Ouellette to moderate this important conversation. Jennifer is the author of 3 popular science books, and she's working on her 4th, entitled Me, Myself, and Why, Searching for the Science of Self. As you can imagine, we're in for a riveting discussion around women and girls in STEM. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation.
Thanks very much. I just want to say that it's a tremendous honor for me to be sharing a stage with these 2 wonderful women because you guys are doing such amazing work. The format that we're going to do today, we're going to, each of them will get up and talk for 5 or 10 minutes just to get the ball rolling, and then we're going to just have a seat here and we're going to have a conversation in kind of a Q&A format. After the first couple questions, we're going to intersperse the questions I'm asking with questions from you. I'm assuming you'll have a lot of questions you want to ask these women. They're involved in 2 very different yet related areas, and we need both. So I'm hoping for a very, very nice give and take. This should be an interactive process as much as possible. So I encourage you all, as you're listening, to think of the kinds of questions you might want to ask. I'm going to not really give too much in the way of introduction. You can read, I'll call your attention to the program there. There's the wonderful bios of both of these women. But Ruth Branson, as mentioned, is currently head of the Girl Scouts in Massachusetts. She's the first chief executive officer, apparently. But she has a long career of executive leadership and executive positions in corporate America, and that experience has really, she's been able to bring that to the Girl Scouts of America to build this model. Among other things, though, she is a co-chair of the Diversity Subcommittee for the Governor's STEM Council here in Massachusetts. And she's going to talk a little bit about that, particularly some of the strategies that she's found very, very useful. So I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to hand it over to Ruth, who is going to dazzle you with her talk.
Well, thank you. I don't know about dazzling after lunch, but I'll do my best. I'm delighted to be here. I want to thank Emily for inviting me, and I am honored to be with Bernice and Jennifer on the platform today. As I was reading the program this morning, I came to the mission of the National Coalition of Girls' Schools, and I was so struck by the fact that you talk about the coalition as empowering girls to be influential contributors to the world, and that you envision a world where every girl will have access to the education and resources she needs to develop who she truly is. Well, that resonated so completely with me, since the mission of the Girl Scouts is to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who will make the world a better place. So what better synergy is there? And I'm so honored to be speaking to this group this afternoon. I know that most of you in the audience are educators, and I can think of no more important work for the future generation than to have wonderful teachers in their classrooms. I actually started my career as a kindergarten teacher in New York City, and that was probably one of the most fun jobs I had. And as a mother of 3 children, I will tell you that there is no more important work, no more greatly appreciated work than what you're doing, and I hope to move the dialogue forward today around improving our girls' interest in STEM and giving them the access to the education and the careers that will allow them to reach their full potential. What drew me initially to the area of STEM and opened the door wider for our girls was the fact that our girls are being shortchanged. And as a byproduct, our world is being shortchanged. Women make up half of the workforce, and I might add a very productive half of the workforce. And making sure that we are fostering STEM education for girls, it makes sense. It's not just the right thing to do, it makes sense from the perspective, any perspective that you can look at. What's interesting is that girls enter kindergarten with the same amount of interest in math and science as boys, the exact same amount. But their interest diminishes over time, which holds serious consequences for the future. Despite the so-called existence of a math gene, which favors males that some of you may have read about in the paper, there is no such genetic reason for the gender gap in STEM. And girls are discouraged from entering the field for many reasons and many different social norms. And Bunny will be speaking a great deal about this chilly climate that girls face and women face around these issues. Gender differences in self-confidence subjects starts in the middle school mostly and increases thereafter as girls get older. STEM helps students develop critical thinking, problem solving, and collaboration skills. And we know from the research that the Girl Scouts Research Institute in New York does that girls love to be collaborative, they love to be creative, and they love to have fun. And if we can embrace those three qualities around how we educate our girls, we can get them back into the playing field around STEM. An anecdotal note I just wanted to share with you is that as I was preparing for my brief talk this morning and meeting with all of you, I came across a study done in 1992 by the American Association of University Women. Now, if all of you are good in math, so I assume you know how long ago 1992 was. And actually, the study was done here at the Wellesley College Center for Research on Women. And in it said, and I'd like to quote because this is really interesting, by the year 2000, the study said, we will be first in the world in science and math. Well, we all know the sad news about that. And our country is way behind in leading the world in this area. But what occurred to me is if we truly had addressed that, and if we had in fact focused on the half of the students who weren't interested in math and science, we might be telling a very different story today about where America is in the race to the top around science. And hopefully our conversation and our work will lead us to that kind of leadership in the next 10 years. A little more than 3 years ago, I had the privilege of taking the best job in the world, which is CEO of the Girl Scouts of Massachusetts. And I've made it a priority for the 40,000 plus girls that we have here in my council to have access to STEM and STEM initiatives. After all, we can't really say that we're fostering the leadership of girls today if we don't talk to them and get them involved in STEM. Recently, the National Girl Scouts of the United States, which as you know is a huge movement with almost 5 million girls, has developed a leadership program. It's called It's Your Planet, Love It. And it encourages girls to explore the possibilities of how they can save the environment, save energy, and we have found a tremendous amount of interest among our girls for this program. Also, this year, Girl Scouts of the U.S. is prioritizing their legislative agenda, so that in fact we are asking our legislators to be very conscious of the work that they are doing around ensuring that educational policies reflect the unique learning styles and expanded learning opportunities for girls. At the Girl Scouts of Eastern Massachusetts, briefly, we base our STEM programming around 5 factors. Programs need to be collaborative, they need to be interactive, they need to attract girls by building their confidence and allowing them to have fun, and the programs represent should usually be given or have involved a female role model who demonstrates that women are successful in STEM careers. One of our most successful was in collaboration with Raytheon and Middlesex Community College, and we have a team from this program here today, Math Moves You, which some of you may have seen at the booth downstairs. Dr. Ellen Ferraro, who will be speaking later in the day, was very instrumental in making that program work for us. We heard from inspirational role models. The girls participated in hands-on experiments, and then they talked about their goals for the future. We were able to have over 300 girls spend the day with these Raytheon women engineers, and I tell you, they came away so inspired and so charged up about the opportunities that they could have. We're also doing another program with the National Science Foundation for our girls who are ages 8 to 11, where they're doing a multi-year program studying energy and the use of ideas to reduce waste in energy. And while this concept may seem overwhelming to girls of that age, what we do is we make it fun. We let them do real-world energy audits. We took a group of the girls over to the new convention center here in Boston, and they went through the bowels of the center and got to see exactly how the energy was being conserved. And it's this hands-on, real-world stuff that really gets them excited. And then finally, we're reaching more than 5,500 girls with a program called the Girls Energy Conservation Corps, or GECCO. And the mascot for GECCO is a cute little green lizard. Now, it doesn't hurt to have a mascot that's a cute little green lizard when you're trying to attract girls and get them excited about a program. And why? Because appealing to fun is a very serious way to engage girls in STEM. We also do programs called Cool Cosmetics and Candy Chemistry. Two things girls can get very excited about, and through these programs the girls transition from their love of makeup and their love of sweets to some excitement around science career fairs and things of that nature. Jennifer mentioned that I have the privilege right now of serving on the Governor's Advisory Council on STEM Education and Careers for the state of Massachusetts. And the goal of my subcommittee is to close the gap for women and minorities, underrepresented minorities and girls around STEM education. And during the last year and a half, this council has been working very hard to prepare the pipeline of women and girls for the needs of industry in Massachusetts. We have some wonderful members of the team. Many of you heard Janos speak this morning. He is also on our committee. The Secretary of Education for the state is on the committee. We have some school teachers on the committee from various Worcester Public School System, the Fall River Public School System, and members of the corporate world, including people from EMC and Verizon. And of course, Connie Chow from the Science Club for Girls is part of this very important initiative. Some of you may have heard her speak this morning as well. Our goal is to educate students in STEM. Ultimately, our aim is to support the Commonwealth's goal to be a leader in science and technology by investing in students and then retaining them here in Massachusetts. That is really critical. We do a great job of educating students in Massachusetts, but unfortunately many of them leave Massachusetts and go elsewhere when they decide to settle down. And this has been a very, very exciting opportunity for me. I got to learn an awful lot about STEM education. Gives me added admiration for the crowd in this room, and it really makes me feel that engaging our girls and our Girl Scouts and our children in this is such an important priority for all of us. So I'm going to let Bunny and Jennifer continue, and I'll talk some more later about some of the things we're up to.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bernice Sandler, again, you can read her full bio here. And as previously mentioned, she is known, she was dubbed by the New York Times, no less, the Godmother of Title IX, which was the landmark anti-discrimination law in terms of sex. She's obviously a notable author